Heyo, it's me, Brian. Hi, Sissy. Doobie's right here asleep in my bed. I just got back a little while ago. Treasa's just stayed up there at the hospital in Reno for probably till Thursday or Friday. Right? And saying they want to make sure that she doesn't break this time. What they did is what they did was is the socket at the ball. Right? The socket has got some kind of adjustment thing, right? Or something where it fits under the ball, right? And it pivots, right? You know, it's supposed to pivot, like that, so that she can move her leg, you know, relatively easy. What happened is that the socket part, right, was open too much or something. I didn't really get a good explanation, right? But it was too loose. And every time she would get above a 90 degree, you know what I'm saying? Or she would raise her leg too high, it would pop out. So they, put a new piece, right, adjusted it where it fits the ball tighter. Hi, Sissy. Right. And they put a brace on her. They got her strapped down. They did a bunch of stuff. They gave her a bunch of rules and a bunch of everything. And the nurses are checking on her a lot, making sure. Because something as simple as turning to get out of the car up there in Austin to go pee is what popped it out. So she sent me home to come, check on the kitties and take care of the house and do my chores and stuff like that. Right? So probably Thursday or Friday. I don't know. Some way, she just texted me a little while ago. She sent me some pictures of the brace they made for her. Right? I'll go back and get her. I want to thank everybody, personally. I want to thank everybody that prayed, everybody that made a comment, everybody that wished us well. Right? I mean, let me see. Gmail, Preppin, John, Gold Diggery, Noy, Jared D, Alan C, Randy A. I'm trying to remember all of you guys off the top of my head because I just looked at all the comments. Oh no. Right. Treasa, thanks you. Personally, I thank you. I appreciate all of you guys and all the other 130 some odd people that viewed this video and liked it. You know what I'm saying? We thank you. Right. Your support. You know what I'm saying? Your encouragement, right, is a good thing. Okay, now, there's a couple of things I want to discuss. Number one, what happened to the healthcare system in America? It sucks. I mean, it truly sucks. Right? I mean, they knew last year that they were going to replace both of her hips, right? Okay, so why? This is my question. It was the same doctor. Right? This is my question. Why, if you knew you were going to replace both of them, right? Did you use two different types of hip replacement device? Oh man, the battery's running out. Fudge. That means I gotta plug in. Let's do that. Good thing I got a 6-foot cord. Come on. There we go. I know you can see her. She's right there. That's Sissy right there. And then that's Doobie right there asleep. Normally, Sissy won't get within 10 feet of me. She's very skittish. She's very shy, but she's a good, smart kitty. Right? She's dangerous. She gets birdies and mices all the time. Right? Probably one of them left half of a part of a bunny rabbit ear right here in the morning, a couple months back. It's probably her. But anyways, normally she doesn't get this close to me, right? You know what I'm saying? But Teresa's been gone now, right? Better part of a week, right? And then she was gone before that for like the better part of 4 days, right? You know what I'm saying? And they've been alone here at the house by themselves for the last 2.5 years. Yeah, Clarice came over and Ron came over, you know what I'm saying? But Sissy probably was hiding somewhere over there in her favorite little bush, watching them, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is an encouraging sight right here. You know what I'm saying? All right, and say Treasa would appreciate this because I'm gonna send her the link. I'm sending you the link, girl, so you better watch. Look, Sissy's sitting right here next to me, and she's gonna go to sleep. That means I gotta sleep on the floor tonight. But anyways, right? You know, so the battery. Obviously, the battery went dead before I could, you know, get it plugged in time. So let's pick it up where we left it off. Why? I mean, somebody got paid here, Doc. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he's a bad doctor. He did a really good job. He really did. All 3 times. Right? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, why is it that in America, especially America, I mean, it happens in Europe too, but why here is it that if you're a senior citizen or a disabled American, right, you know what I'm saying, and you're on Medicaid or Medicare, you know what I'm saying, or one of the different variations of whatever, you know, healthcare plan, right, why is it, you know what I'm saying, that pressure, right, from the industry dictates, right, whose device gets, you know, surgically implanted and which corporation gets paid for it? This is a question for you, Rhonda. I would like to hear your opinion on this one. Right? You too, Gold Diggery. I want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because I know Gmail going to swing in. But anyways, right? Okay. That's all I got to say about that because I was really pissed off. You know what I'm saying? The first day and a half I was there because of the level of health care, right? That Treasa got. You know what I'm saying? And believe me, right? As soon as she came out from underneath them fucking anesthesia, the level of her health care went up now, right? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, number 2. Now I've been a lot of places, right? I've driven a car, you know what I'm saying, or a truck, right? Or a motorcycle, you know what I'm saying? In a lot of these places where I've been, right? You know what I'm saying? Right, so I got a pretty good, you know, idea of how the highway network and the road and the, you know, freeway systems, you know what I'm saying, in major cities and out in the countryside, you know what I'm saying, work. Right? But here in Nevada, right, there's this weird, oh man, that's too bright. No, it ain't, it's pretty good. There's this weird design to the highway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, the terrain rolls a lot, you know what I'm saying? And yes, you go down the mountain and you go across the valley and you go up the mountain, you know what I'm saying? Right? You know, and so the road, I do understand this, the road follows the grade of the terrain, you know what I'm saying? Not so much the terrain, but at least the highest grade of it all. Because, you know, even though it goes like this, there's still a level line at each peak, right? Okay. Right. Now, here in Nevada, the highways are relatively flat and pretty smooth. Right? They're not very wide, especially the 2-lane ones. You know what I'm saying? Like the 50 coming out of, you know, Fernley, out of Fallon, right, up to Austin. The 50 is the loneliest road in America. You remember that, Anonymous? Right? But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you come to a turn, right, it doesn't matter if you're on the flat, or if you're going up, or if you're going down. It's always the same, and it's sometimes it can be scary, right? But when you're coming up to a turn, let's say it's the right turn, you know what I'm saying? As you're still going straight, as the road itself is still going straight, you know what I'm saying? You lower down. Right, and then the camber they bank the turn about 3-4 maybe 5 degrees, maybe 6. I don't know. You know, sometimes it's pretty steep, right? And you drop down and you catch the curve, and then that's when you turn, because you're still going straight when you drop down, and the road is already turning because it's built into a curve. You understand, right? But you're still and when you catch it, and you gotta be ready for it. I mean, I learned to be ready for it, right? You catch it, and you turn into the turn, right? And then somewhere around the middle of the turn, maybe a little bit past the middle of the turn, right? It flattens out, right? And and you got to counter steer at that point in order to finish going around the corner to hit the little short chute to go to the next one. You go, and then this is the second weird part. When you hit the flat and you're going to the left, especially when you're going uphill. This is weird, right? You're saying you hit that flat spot, it finishes off the curve, you hit the little sharpshoot, right? And then it's flat until you get about just before the middle of the curve, and then that's where it fucking banks. And it's like you catch the curve, and it like throws you around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Right? And sometimes going up the mountain, the speed limit 70 miles an hour. Some of these idiots are doing 90. Right? Now, this is the weird part. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, yeah, that's just the banking of the road, Brian. You're too stoned. No, this is the weird thing. When you're turning right, you get the sensation that you're going downhill, even when you're going uphill. And when you turn left, you get the sensation of going uphill, even when you're going downhill. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Even when the terrain around you is flat. I don't know who designed this system, but either you're a mad genius, right, or you're the most dangerous motherfucker that ever lived and worked for the government. Right? Be following along a semi going downhill, you know what I'm saying, at about 70, 60, between 65 and 70, you know what I'm saying? And mind you, the wind's blowing like mad in any direction, any time, right? And you come to one of these curves, and because the way they laid the road out, it follows the easiest path. A lot of times the highway goes right by where the river flows, if there's a river in the area, or like if you're in the Gabbs watershed, right? My phone is glitching. I can't figure out why. Anyways, if you're in the watershed, the water just flows down the side of the mountain into the valley, and the road goes right down the middle of it. It takes the path of least resistance, just like all the washes in the arroyos as they roll down. You know what I'm saying? When it's in the flats, a lot of the time, right, in the flats, you're in the center of the valley, somewhere near the old center of the lake bed, and it goes straight across, and the wind is blowing. You're going this way, the wind's blowing that way, and it's blowing as fast as you're going. Right? Right? And like out here in the countryside, like in the valley, when I'm going north or coming south, right across any of the valleys where Middle Gate is, you know what I'm saying, when I come across when I come over the top of the Gabbs watershed into that valley, into the Big Smoky Valley, where the road usually skirts the shoulder of the mountain, right? Because the center of the valley is out here, the road is on the shoulder of the mountain, and the rest of the mountain is up here. So and it skirts, and it goes, and it follows along, you know what I'm saying, all the way, right? And it doesn't matter what valley you're in, right? And sometimes it'll catch you off balance, especially if you're coming up on somebody pulling a horse trailer with about 2-3 horses in the back of it, and they're trying to do 70 miles an hour, right? But they're fighting the wind, fighting the horses, you know what I'm saying, fighting the fucking road, right? And it's insane. I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, what else is I gonna bitch about? Well, I was gonna bitch about this. I was just gonna make a comment. Right? It kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Right? Coming out of Reno, right? When I got to, where was I? Yeah, coming out of Reno when I hit that 390, when I hit the 50, when I turned on to the 50, right? Okay. For the next like 25 miles to Fernley, right? Saying I counted 1, 2, 3 deputies, right? 2 state trooper cars and an unmarked, right, 4-wheel drive truck, right? And you know what I'm saying? I ran across one of the supervisors, one of the highway patrol supervisor guys, right? And saying he was just parked on the side of the road in his little silver S, Jeep thing, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at it because I usually get speed limit 70. You know what I'm saying? And if the wind's blowing real hard, I'll cut down to 65. You know what I'm saying? But I usually try to do 70, 69, 70. You know what I'm saying? And as I went by, he beeped at me. Beep, beep. I'm like, I looked down the speedometer, I looked up the river mirror, and I went like that. You know what I'm saying? He just stuck his head out the window and waved. It was like, oops, beep, sorry. Right? But in 25 miles, I mean, this, when you get close to any city, right, the police get thick, right? But within 25 miles, they had that many cops sitting there with their radar guns beaming, you know what I'm saying, trying to catch as many people as they possibly could, in the sense they'd give them a ticket so they'd have to go to court and pay their money. What? I thought we were banning the police. I thought we were defunding them. Whatever happened to that idea? Anyways, this is me, Brian, with the kitties. Look, as you see, both of them are dead asleep. All right. Saying thank you.